And we're back. Where were we? Oh yeah. So Reid had Nick is at the realms now. I'm Nick. That's me. I talked about myself in the third person. Anyway, we just returned from the factory part of this factory. We're now heading down to the lab.
Apparently, there's a part of the factory that isn't a factory.
There's part of it that's a lab.
You know what I just noticed before you walked back in here? On the world map, you just stand there. Your characters just sort of like throw their arms up.
Yeah, like
woo, the map.
No, they're bored. They're mad at you. Like Robo will like sit down and sleep.
Here's a question: how many robots could Robo chuck if Robo could chuck robots?
A lot. I think that's a movie gets later.
I want to say like 3.
But yeah, I just noticed while we were on the world map that this is 2300 AD. So this is like 300 years after the day of Lavos.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive that people have managed to survive like in this terrible state. As we didn't have to go outside.
I mean, maybe at first it wasn't that bad. Maybe it's taken a while to decline this far.
Yeah.
Maybe like the day of Lavos was just like a minor setback in world history that just caused a very like slow, gradual downward decline.
There were a lot of Day of Lavos disputers. No, I don't think there's not enough scientific evidence for the Day of Lavos. Yeah, it really was just their version of global warming. But we have evidence that Lavos actually came out of the ground. And where is he now? Don't see Lavos. I don't know. I'm kind of cold right now. I don't think Lavos ever existed. The best global warming dispute ever. I don't know. It's cold today. No global warming. Oh. Gonna fight some alkaline. So you fight acids and alkalines in this.
Reminds me, I had a conversation with someone once. We were just like discussing, you know, the potential of for the existence of God. And their argument was that, well, I don't think God's real because we've been to space and he wasn't up there. In a nutshell.
That's a pretty limited understanding of. Yeah, I think if you're gonna believe in God, you got to go for a very allegorical God, just to save your own sanity, really. And you have to accept that a lot of the Bible was written by people who did or did not necessarily ever actually come into contact with God. But, you know, it's your choice, people out there, if you do or don't believe. For those of you on the internet, however, there is a common belief that not believing makes you a better person. This is very untrue. You're not a more fantastic person for your lack of belief in a thing. Lack of belief is very easy to achieve. Actually believing in something is kind of difficult. And people who believe in stuff are also not necessarily better. But you can't just assume you're smarter than someone who believes in a thing. And I think that's a common misinterpretation by atheists, at least on the internet.
Well, I think it's sort of
Robo really goes at the typing, eh?
Yeah.
Why? Oh jeez.
I think there's a difference between not believing in something and believing in the absence of something.
I guess so.
Like, people say that atheists don't believe in anything. No, atheists believe in there not being a God. That's a thing they believe. They're not just apathetic. Chemically fused with other members.
So yeah, the acids and the alkalides join together and form an explosion.
Clever.
Which is kind of clever. I'm not sure that's right.
Probably not. But I can see where they're going with it.
Just these things might like really fuck me up as they just keep.
Yeah, really.
I'm not really doing a lot of damage to them with any of my attacks. Maybe just like regular Cyclone will be more effective. try that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that did it.
What?
It really looks like they're all wearing, like, samurai helmets. Which is pretty cool. Like, it's like, yeah, they all look like samurai heads coming out of the floor.
It's pretty sweet, really.
Which, considering their, you know, piles of slime, is pretty cool. Really gives them extra cred.
They all kind of look like Shredder a bit. Badass. Wait, what were the
If only we
teenage...
had our Teenage Mutant Frog Knight.
What? I don't think he's teenage.
You don't know that?
What were the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first? Were they a comic book first?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So was like everything a comic book first?
What? That's a pretty broad question.
I don't know how to answer that.
Origin of Species, originally adapted from a comic book.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles really fuck with that.
Yeah, it was not based on that comic book, that's for sure.
Life progresses in this manner. Unless nuclear radiation is introduced. In which case, all shit gets fucked up. Have you noticed that, like, we go up and down this lift, but that little pad we're standing on doesn't follow us if we go up? Like, they move upwards, but the pad stays in the same spot? I assume the pad was the thing that was moving us. Maybe it's, like, gravity.
Well, Chrono can probably fly.
Because he's awesome?
Because Akira Toriyama designed him.
I don't know, he doesn't have the Nimbus. He's not just directly...
He can use his ki. He can...
Sengoku or whatever. Is it Sengoku, right? That's the...
Son Goku.
Random stop on machines. That seems interesting.
Huh. Speaking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of my favorite thing about that phenomenon was that I guess once it really took off...
Let's do that.
Sure. Once it really took off, a lot of other, you know, independent underground comics tried to cash in on the same kind of formula.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, you had, like, Biker Mice from
Mars, but...
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks, but not even that. Even more ridiculous ones that never even actually were successful.
Oh, okay.
If I can find it here...
Jesus.
Zaby.
Security system gone haywire. We have to escape immediately.
What are we even trying to do here?
We're trying to turn the power back on.
Oh, right. I'd totally lost sight of that being a goal.
We're trying to turn the power back on because behind that door, Robo thinks there's something. Robo's holding the door for us, and this is where Robo dies. Nope, he's fine. I love Chrono's surprise face. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how badass Robo is there.
Alright, this is good. So, although, this is from Wikipedia, for anyone who's interested. Although TMNT had originated as something of a parody, the comic's explosive success led to a wave of
It was a parody?
Sorta.
Okay.
Oh
wait, this is actually...
Whoa. Look at all those blue Robos. Oh.
This is the beginning of Robo's existential crisis.
He's really having a Vivi moment here.
Yeah.
Whew, that was a gnarly beatdown.
I wonder what that exact movement is that they're doing. Like, this is pretty upsetting.
You can take a beating, though.
It's just like begging them to stop. Like, I wonder what that does for them. That's just like their show-off move.
Some kind of like exhaust release.
Chrono and Luca are like, whoa.
What?
There we go. Now Luca's going.
So just the two of you have to fight those 6 robots?
Let's see how much damage just like regular Cyclone does. Because the theme of this place has certainly been that Cyclone is better than Fireworld.
Yeah. Luca is pretty useless being the theme.
Guess we should have brought Marley. Slam dunk. Alright, I'm just gonna see.
So, the comic's explosive success led to a wave of small press black and white comic parodies of TMNT itself, including adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters. Preteen dirty jean kung fu kangaroos.
Dirty Jean?
Like their jeans. Not like pants, but like their genetic makeup.
Oh, really?
It like tainted, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Preteen.
You're like, what they're doing to Chrono!
Oh.
There's fucking... Oh, that wasn't that bad.
And
they're doing it again! They're volleyballing Chrono! This is just like that scene from Top Gun. I'm pretty sure. It was a lot like this. I think Top Gun had robots.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, those are terrible, terrible names for things.
Yeah. Dark Horse Comics' Boris the Bear was launched in response to the clones. Its first issue is titled Boris the Bear Slaughters the Teenage Radioactive Black Belt Mutant Ninja Critters. So anyway, those are all real things that happened.
They trashed Robo.
Oh, look at them hauling him back.
When did you start that?
When you told me to.
Oh.
Hauling him back. Luca is a holo-back girl. Holo-robot back.
I like that Marley's just asleep.
Marl. Yes, seriously. If you guys aren't taking me with you, I'm just gonna nap.
Fuck you guys. I mean, it's clear that robots just try and kill people in this world, but I could totally just sleep on the ground here.
I don't think she's the brightest.
That was the question.
Yeah, I don't think robots think like that. Or aren't supposed to think like that.
He's defective, though.
Yeah. God, this is a squeaky chair. Well, now Merle's awake. Merle.
Yes, Robo's theme. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, every video game needs to come up with some explanation as to why all of you can't be in a group at the time.
Yeah.
Until eventually it's like Final Fantasy VII just doesn't. But a lot of them do try. This, I think, is the most... I think, like, the term is shoehorned. This is the most shoehorned in, like, explanation. But this is really cool. This is where the game starts. Really.
So we've been wasting the past, like, 7 hours?
Just about. Really, like, this is where the game begins.
The end of time. We're from here. Robo's like, I'm not from there.
But look, they're also like putting Robo a little bit off to the side.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to be part of the game. So when 4 more beings try to go to the time warp, it fucks up. The conservation of time theorem states that they will turn up at the space-time coordinates of the least resistance.
Yeah. space-time travel is possible, but only for 3 or less people.
Only for 3 or less.
You can break the rules enough to travel time, you can't break them enough to fit a 4th person.
So, recently, I guess... how do you determine recently when you're sitting at the end of time? But recently, there's been a disturbance in time that's tearing the fabric of time, and people are showing up at the end of time with the old man. And this is your central hub for the rest of the game. Just like in a lot of things, it's like your airship. I'm going to use these 3 for now. I'll probably use Robo instead in a second, but there's a... Oh yeah. That's a good thing to remember. I just didn't know... Like, I skipped over that you can press Y to switch party members. I just didn't know you could do that for a really long time.
Yeah.
So this... The gate that leads from the bucket he just talked about here is the gate that goes to...
Hey.
He'll talk to you about it first. Okay, but that bucket leads to the Day of Lavos.
Aha.
So when you so you can fight Lavos at any time. So the rest of the game after this point technically is optional.
It's basically just like grinding, but with story.
Yeah, lots of story. Like there's still a lot left to do in terms of the game to get the whole world ready for the Day of Lavos. But you can just go now, fight Lavos, kill him, game over.
So should we try that?
No.
Did you just use like 2 shelters and
oh crap!
a healing bucket?
Yeah, I did that really badly. I used like.
And didn't you use tonics before?
I used a bunch of mid tonics. I just wasn't paying attention.
What are you doing?
I'm just fucking up, fucking everything up. Did I save? I guess so.
No, I don't think you did. Time out. Did you get your head?
All right, welcome back.
We've told Nick how to play video games.
Yeah, we figured it out.
And now we're good to go.
Specchio.
The Master of War. That's really always how I pictured the Master of War. Ah.
Don't say he looks weak. Don't be a douche like that. We're strong of will. I mean, he doesn't look that strong, but if you know Specchio like I do, you know. Whew.
You and he just hang out all the time?
Lightning, fire, water, and shadow. So we also know that frog is water.
Yeah.
So to do this 3
Pretty
times.
weird thing to have to do.
Oh, and it doesn't. Damn it. And if you like leave the wall at all, you have to try it again.
Because it takes discipline to use magic. Very tedious discipline. Alright, 1.
I'm running along the back wall because that's the easiest wall to run along, and that was pretty easy.
We're gonna make you watch all of this.
Woo! God, I've had to do that like 8 times in a row.
Ipso facto minimo magico! This is a really very serious art.
She's kind of off of that. Like the fire was off center there. So, we're going to try out our magic now.
Lightning.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
Ow.
I'm not sure we can even like do this one yet. So the only thing that actually hurts him is your magic.
Yeah. Fire!
I'm gonna save Chrono for Aura Whirl.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, a good thing to do before this fight, for you guys out there, if I don't win this one, I'm going to do it, is to get your team outfitted with their speed equipment. Like, get as high... Oh, crap, that ring. Okay. I assumed water would do more damage to her.
Yeah.
But anyway, both Marley and Frog are... Oh, shit.
Ouch.
Don't go down, Luca.
Oh, no, she's out.
Both Marley and Frog are water, but Marley uses ice and Frog uses, like, the big bubbles.
Oh, yeah. Because he's a frog.
Damn, when he starts using lightning, it gets bad, just because lightning deals so much damage. Okay, I'm gonna revive her. I'm gonna get her to use a mid-tonic on herself. Maybe that's how I should keep up with it, just mid-tonic people when they get smoked.
Yeah.
Damn, he's smoking.
Why is this fight so hard?
Well, it's an optional fight.
Right.
And you're really not supposed to do it yet.
But we are pretty badass motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well, if you know anything about Reid especially, Reid is very willing to try one thing over and over again rather than grind for any amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, he will beat a super boss way below what he should just because he never grinds. And I hate grinding too, honest to God. Like,
it's not that, like, I don't want to grind, it's just like I feel like my failures come not from my weakness, but from my, like, if I fought as optimally as I could, I feel like I could win.
yeah. It's not the failures of your men. It's your own failures.
Exactly.
It's a poor commander who blames his troops. So yeah, you just gotta wail on him with magic as much as... There you go, yeah.
Man.
Antipode. Oh yes, that's actually really good. So that's just when Luca... And actually, no, that's a good reason to... Because there's a boss coming up that's really... But Antipode is just... Marley and Luca have pretty high magic stats. And they have a bunch of dual techs that cross really well.
Okay. That was most embarrassing. Harumph. Magic tab for 5 ethers. A little underwhelming. No, magic tab's good.
Yep. And that's what... He'll just give you, like, more tabs.
Cool.
I wonder if he... Yeah. Later on, so there's a bunch of fights you have with Specchio throughout this game, and he'll just, like, change...
It's like changed, like, form?
Yep. It gets much harder. It's really bad at the end because he starts using the all-hit spells.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to have a cure move. You need Frog and Marley with the best cure move in the game to keep up with that. I don't know why that's true. Like, we got time travel. I guess the idea that, like, space-time is ripping.
Yeah.
So you gotta... Yeah, 65 million.
Wow.
Million basic. So yeah.
Way back in the day.
Yeah. So we were told to go to our own time first. So that's what we're gonna do. Actually, I think...
Once we get settled back into our own time here, we'll call it a day on this...
Call it a day on this whole video game, really. We're back home. We don't need to...
Yeah, that's really the end of our adventure. Like, we'll be long dead before the day of Lavos ever happens.
Lost a war to human beings.
Yeah, why even worry about thousands of years in the future? Why not just live out your life in, like, what is this, like, 1300 AD or whatever?
So mystics is the appropriate term for monsters in this game.
Really?
Yeah. And monsters is like derogatory, I think.
Like, Chrono should just become a lawyer and just, 1000 AD.
Do his mom proud.
Yeah, and just, die happy surrounded by his family.
Yeah, exactly.
And just not worry about, like, the 900 years in the future when, Lavos doesn't destroy the world, but ruins it enough so that over the course of 300 years, it really goes downhill.
I blame humans mostly for that, I think.
Yeah.
Alright. We'll be back.